Good day, YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's toy review. And it's no surprise that Duck, the Great Western Engine, can pull a bullet train, which is strange, but hey, right in front of you there, alongside that, is of course some wooden trains. And I've actually got a bit of a growing collection of these toy trains. So far, these are the first things I want to take a look at because I've actually got this set here with red wheels. Best part is, do you know how much I've actually paid these for? 50 pence. And I'll show you on the price tag, which looks like that. 50 pence. There it is there. It is actually very, very good value. And I'm actually going to connect these into Duck because, hey, these types of trains will connect right at the back of this bullet train, which is actually quite strange considering that, hey, a steam engine doesn't usually pull these types of trains. Quite finicky this is because, hey, these trains do work with Tomy and Trackmaster because they're on the same gauge. Little do often they know they're going to struggle beyond this layout because they can be quite a bit finicky with the auto rail points section thingies. But anyways, we've got Duck and he's busy puffing along with these things. So I've got two black steam engines with a double set of couplers. And then, of course, yes, hey, we've also got two wagons, which have got, like, red wheels. And there goes Duck. Look how compatible these systems are. And look how smooth and slow it's pulling. Now, that is a very reliable and very hard-working engine. Look how there's no derailments. He's not going too fast. But look how Duck is merrily pulling this train. Fantastic and strange to see, eh, guys? Have you ever seen Duck, the Great Western Engine, a pannier tank at least, pulling a wooden railway train and a bullet train at the same time? Well, I've seen that all. Children have a wide range of imaginations. And speaking of imaginations, you know the fun play of playing with real toys in my hands, it really is quite a very good difference than what we have so far from today. So much so that children these days are addicted to technology, which is of course very much sad, but hey, that's what it is. And look at Duck go, he's pulling it very much. Wow, look at him, he's an absolute workhorse. Or should I just say, Work Duck, hence his name, Quack Quack, to the Great Western Way. And if you're on the wrong way, then that means, hey, let's not get too rude here, eh? Because hey, all we want to see is Duck merrily pulling this train, but also some of the flip-up toys that are actually next to me. But before I should try and do that, I'm going to go ahead and grab these wooden toy trains and see who actually manufactured these types of toy trains, because it's actually very worthy to note that, hey, I want to find out who has actually made these things. I'll just uncouple that. I'm actually quite curious, is this a generic wooden toy train? I really don't know, actually. Exactly the other ones. This red one here, it is quite a bit of a generic one. But do you know what they remind me of? They actually remind me of those little Brio toy train systems that you get, which is actually quite interesting, considering that, hey, I've actually bought quite a lot of train sets, a lot of wooden trains, and that sort of thing. I haven't really got a battery-operated wooden Thomas or a stock standard wooden Thomas type toy. I mean, it would have been fun as a Thomas & Friends collector, but I've actually got these wooden toy trains within me. So they're just generic tractor-looking trains. You know, you can use them as like bumper car crash doobies, whatever you want. That's quite a very weird truck. I don't know what that is, but it does look quite very, very strange. Yes, we've got a very good mix of wooden railway trains. That's very nice to know. I think I should collect even more of these into the future. Very, very cool. Okay, let's move on to these types of toys, and these are the ones I'm going to be reviewing today. Whoops, sorry about that. At least Duck didn't actually do well somehow. I'm going to go up towards a much more brighter spot. Let me just turn on the light, because it is fairly, well, let's just say it's dull. Considering of how cloudy the weather is, hey, let me just go ahead and start doing my toy review. Right, so, oh my goodness, we've got some snakes. The Burmese Python Snake Big Duet Pack. My goodness me, that was amazing. I'll talk about that on later one. But the first one I'm going to be talking about is this one here, for Club Origami, Asian Temperate Paddy Field Habitat 12 pack, which costs about £21. No surprise at all, we've got a sheep with a very expensive price tag, some koi carp, pretty amazing seeing some Japanese koi carp. The back of the packaging looks like that. Okay, what do we have? A cow that looks like a freaking bison, which overall is quite strange. There's a duck here, which also relates to the duck that I'm running in. Okay, we've got 3 more sheep, another cow, and I'll probably presume it's another koi carp. Let's spawn out from the packaging and see what they look like. Oh, sorry about that, duck. Are you a little bit stuck? Sorry about that. Okay, I think duck was getting a little bit stuck. I think it's probably because of the track point section, I think. But he's doing very well. There's no squeaking sounds from him. Thank goodness for that. Let me just come along and unbox this beauty. Or should I just say unpack, because it's an envelope. Like I always do. Very, very gently. Oh, yes. Haven't really made farm type toys for a very long time. How'd you come? Let's take a look at the fish. They do look quite big somehow. That's a very nice spot to see. They're just plain, boring looking fish. They're just koi carp in general, of course. And there's the other side. But nevertheless, they do look very, very nice. There's the other one here. Again, there's actually so many different patterns of koi carp in the world here. It's just chronically awesome collecting these. Very, very good. You can definitely play with them in the water. Obviously, I suppose so. Of course, yes, I haven't really spoken about the water compatibility features on these toys, because all of these are straightforward, done with watercolor paint or regular paint and basically pencil. So in that case, hey, it's much more easier to preserve detailings like that. About 3 of these koi carps, and then we're going to go ahead and take a look at some sheep. This one here has got a bit of a very strange looking eye colorization, like so. I think it's a black sheep, even though it's actually meant to be brown in terms of its wool. And we've actually got 4 of these, so we're getting a few duplicates of sheep. Very, very nice. I haven't made any sheep themed products for a long period of time. There's your typical looking sheep with the white skin and the yellow wool. It's not that unusual when you see sheep in that colour. They may look white, but they're not actually that white. I'd probably say like a lightish yellow looking colour. Pretty amazing. And then we've also got another sheep, which looks like that. Oh man, that definitely looks stunning. Very stunning design indeed. Pretty amazing, although the eye's going a little bit funnier on that one. And then we've also got some cows, which I'll probably presume they're Wagyu beef type cows. Moo! Obviously. Bah! From the other side. Okay, so this does look quite nice. I mean, the eye is a bit roughly painted, but that's very much not that bad, I suppose. And there's the other one there. Again, it's actually quite interesting to see why different cow models have actually got like head designs and whatnot. Looks like this one's got a bit of bloodstains in that one. Oh dear, that cow has actually gone into some sort of blood fight. Hope it's not blood sports. And there's, oh, that's quite a very good gold one. That looks like your sort of cash cow. Look at that. If you have a cow in this sort of colour, then maybe this could be your cash cow. How about that, hey? And then we've also got this one right here. I think it's a greyish, bluish looking cow. I think originally it was meant to be all entirely black, but for some reason it's gone a little bit light, which I've got no idea why. But hey, it looks pretty cool, looks pretty much charming as what you can pretty much be. Very, very nice. Anyways, let's herd all of the cows back. Oh, hang on, let's not forget the duck. There's some detailing there. Okay, it's just the basic stock standard. I think it's an Eastern spot-billed duck from East Asia. I think it's meant to be an East Asian themed set. Quite interesting, I suppose. I'm not sure if we can grow rice paddy fields in the middle of the Himalayas. Is that possible? I can't really remember, hey guys. Sorry about that. But anyways, I'm just going to repack them all and move on to our greatest product of all time. that's actually right next to this product, which is filled with farm animals. And let's move on to something pretty hysterical. It is the Flip Up Origami Burmese Puffin Snake Big Duet Pack, which costs about £22. Oh, it's a Flip Up Origami Pets toy. Now, amazingly, when I made this product, due to how very large these snakes are, you can see how cruddy and very nasty the packaging is. And you can actually tell it's a very bulky product. And there's the back of it. It's roughly painted, but this is what it's meant to be like. So, the patterns are not always that real. That's very much common in snakes like this. In fact, all animals which have patterns like that because of genetic features. I think that's why. And we've got two snakes, so they're all based on Burmese pythons. They are straightforward, different in design, difficult to pack up, but they are also in two different color variations, which I should have actually pinpointed earlier on before I started making this video, which is actually quite amazing. Now, these are very similar to the reticulate pythons that we've seen in a previous video. In fact, many videos ago, we've seen so many reticulated pythons, and now we've got Burmese pythons. Do you want to make more of these? Or do you want me to leave it as it is? Because, hey, snake products have become very, very good, but then the hazardous side of them is that, hey, after making them packagings, you can see how much damage there is. There's actually one side of it which is more damaged compared to the other one there. I mean, at least the toys are not that dirty, but hey, out they come with these accordion designs. I could have added a bit more detailing on the mouth and a tongue. Obviously, there could have been a tongue. So here is one of the Burmese pythons that I've made over a week, I suppose. So it actually does look the part. As you can see, it's actually quite a very nicely detailed snake, although I do suspect there is a bit of rough and ready patterning right over on this giant serpent. Yes, we've got the very good looking, big, black looking scale sort of borders here on both sides. This one there is a bit discolored, I suppose, due to the way paint works. You know, just because you can add as many layers of paint doesn't exactly mean it's going to exactly cover the amount of previous amount of paint covers that you've done. It will have to take at least a few hours, few days at least, possibly under a week, I suppose, to get this thing nicely done. Okay, obviously this is actually quite nice, and I've also got another snake that is also inside of this packaging as well. With this one here is a bit different. This one's all entirely dark green. One I'm looking at now is, I'd say like a dark limey sort of colour here. Like a dark limey green colour with like brown on it, of course, like a reddish brown colour. Which is sort of interesting in a way. The colour balance is a little bit relatively not that shy, I suppose, Yeah, there's the other side of it. It does look a little bit rough and ready in terms of its paint quality and stuff. But why so often I really want to complain about it? It doesn't look too bad. There's the back of the tail of the snake. It's a big python here. I would probably say that this snake is probably about roughly the same length as the reticulated python that I said in a previous video. And it also has that similar head characteristic at the front. But to me, it actually looks more like a boa. You know, if I was actually thinking of pythons, I would have actually put the eye socket a little bit here. But then that there is actually a lot much more accurate somehow, because, you know, it's a little bit like a character with a dog muzzle. You know what I mean? They got to have, like, good proportions, I suppose, And let me get the other snake. Like so. This is actually very wonderful, and that is very, very good. They could have at least added a bit more eye detailing on each side there, but then who knows, I could have just left it as it is. Like I suppose, we've got some very good looking black, scaly borders like here. I mean, it looks like something that you go outside for some sort of military training. It almost looks like a soldier's pattern. And yes, snakes often tend to have very different detailings, as you can see why. They're not always the same. There's always just some of these detailings which are a little bit substandard, but hey, that's what they are. Snakes are very varied in terms of their patterns. It's almost like, hey, this one here looks like it's got scaly patterns that actually match the entire colour of the body instead, which is actually quite a bit strange. There's its tail, which looks like it's a tiny looking snake head. Could possibly be some sort of anaconda. And there's actually a bit more discolorization going on here. There's a bit of a fault of the paint here. It's nowhere near the refinement as what I had so far. They are very difficult to detail, but it doesn't look too bad. It's just that, hey, some of these areas here have gone a lot of actually painting these up in some areas. Yes, a lot of trouble in some areas, but hey, these guys look fairly amazing. I could probably put the eye color as something a lot more, basically brown. Maybe get a hollow or something, but hey, these snakes look awesome. Yes, thanks for reviewing this product. Oh my goodness me. Oh, crikeys! There's a snake. Holy crap! There was a snake in my back! No, I'm not doing Woody's catchphrase from Toy Story, but hey, we've got 2 of these snakes. Like so. I hate to think of just how difficult it is to repack those slithery idiots back into their hardy hole, because hey, that packaging there is a real troublesome one. If I really coordinate the snakes back into their packaging, hey, you know what? If I bought them on cargo, hey, are we doing a reenaction of snakes on the plane? That'd be quite crazy, wouldn't it? Ship it to somewhere else, and then hey, there's a snake popping at you. You could do one of these prank videos where snakes will just shoot out from you. At least I didn't swear. They'll just shoot out from the packaging, and then they'll just straightforward start looking like they're going to attack you. They just jump out of the packaging, just look like they're pouncing at you. Right, I don't think I might be able to pack these giant serpents because they are just massive, and they are also just way too bulky for the average product. It's just what it is, somehow I suppose, say. My goodness me, look at these giant snakes. They are just towering mad. Whoever thought making these products was a relatively good idea in commemoration of me making lots and lots of products for this year, which has been the year of the snake, according to the Chinese zodiac. Which means, do I have to make more ponies and horses from next year? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yes, the year of the snake has seen far much better days, but yes, at least, hey, it has made it as, yes, the literally so-called year of the snake. Would I really think so? Yes, it is. Yes, I would say it is the year of the snake, because it will be this last year of the snake before, like, 2037. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'll be around here in 2037 making videos on YouTube. Look at this. A giant snake's tail and a head protruding like so. Look at that. How cool is that, repacking it like that? Anyways, I'm going to leave this video here. I'm going to go downstairs and fill up some water because I am straightforward drying out like hell, like a frog out of water, or a fish out of water. So anyways, if you really enjoyed this video, please give this video a very good like, subscribe for more for toy reviews in the future, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.